Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to create your missing link project. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is open up your two images. You want to have the photograph of yourself and the photograph without yourself in the fence. And you're just going to unlock the layer and move them together. So you can see I've got two photographs that are stacked here. So I can turn the eyeball back onto this one. If you want to check and see if they're lined up properly, you can go to your opacity. You can bring it down to about 50%. And that way we're only seeing half of this image, and you can see if your fence lines up. So I can kind of show, let me turn off the bottom layer. So that's the top layer at 50%, and then this one here, and you can see that the fence lines up pretty well. And it might be a little bit off in some areas, but that should be okay. So let's go ahead and start the Photoshop part. We're going to bring the opacity of this layer back up to 100%, and then I'm going to go down here and add a layer mask. So the layer mask is white. And then I'm going to go to my brush tool, and I want my foreground color to be black. Now at this point, I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to pick a square, and I'm just going to start to brush away. So I would choose parts that are not like key elements, like don't remove the eyes and the nose and the mouth, but this part over here I can start brushing away his ear, and it should line up pretty good with the fence. So I'm just kind of using my brush here to brush away, and I'm probably going to need to use the whole fence because you can see the exposure is just a little bit off from the one image to the other. And hopefully you set your focus right when you did this so that this image right here, that little square there, is blurry. So there's one square. Let's go pick another spot. And we're just going to use that brush tool. We're working on the mask. If you're painting black or white, you're on the image. You want to make sure you're on the mask. And we're just going to start removing squares. So you can see, because I've got that fence there overlapping, I can use my soft brush, and it's not really requiring me to do a magic wand tool or a quick selection. I can just go through here and clean that up. Okay, so here's a trick as you're editing. As you're using your brush tool and you are brushing away, if you click here and go to the other side and hold shift, it'll make a straight line. So that'll be a little convenient for you along some of those edges. You can move a little faster that way. So go through, and I want you to remove 8 squares, a minimum of 8 squares. You want to do more, but try and keep most of your face intact. I don't necessarily want to see you without eyes. So be aware, check to see that your foreground color is black. If it gets switched, then you're starting to brush things back, which can be helpful sometimes if you lose a little something, but when you're working with the white, you're taking away from the top layer and you're revealing what's beneath. Alright, so that's the majority of my squares taken out. I may go through and take out a couple more, but that's kind of how it should look. I want you to take a number of the squares out. There should be some gaps in the project. So that's how to edit your missing link project, and if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks so much.